The Yoxol Empire had conquered over 300 planets. They called themselves the cleanest, smartest, and strongest race in the galaxy. Their ships were perfect. Their soldiers were quiet and cold like machines. Their food was gray blocks filled with energy but no taste. To them, taste was weakness. When the Yoxol came to Earth, they laughed. Not at our weapons, not at our people. They laughed at our food. "This is what they eat," Commander Krell said, looking at a slice of pizza on a plate. "It's dripping oil." One soldier poked a donut. "It's soft and sweet. It smells like poison." Another picked up a burger and sniffed it. He almost dropped it. Too strong. Disgusting. But one Ixel soldier named Jarn said nothing. He just stood there, staring at a hot dog. The food court in New York City was full of people eating, laughing, and chewing with messy hands. Humans didn't care about looking clean. They cared about flavor, about fun. Jarn didn't understand it. But the smell of the hot dog, spicy, smoky, strange, pulled him closer. His translator didn't know the word for what he felt, but something inside him whispered, "You need this." He stepped forward, slow like a robot in a dream. A human boy looked up at him. "You want a bite?" The boy asked, holding the hot dog. Jarn didn't answer. He took the food, stared at it, and took a bite. Silence. His body froze. His pupils changed shape. His fingers trembled. Then he dropped to his knees. The other Yuxol soldiers shouted, thinking he was under attack. But Jarn didn't scream. He laughed. "Are you okay?" the boy asked. Jarn's voice came out like a whisper. "What? Is this magic?" Commander Krell ran over. "What did you eat?" Jarn looked up, tears in his alien eyes. "Flavor. I tasted flavor." Krell ordered him to stand. "Spit it out. That food is unclean." But Jarn didn't move. Instead, he took another bite. And another. That night, back on the ship, Jarn refused his usual food block. He asked for human food. When the ship couldn't provide it, he became angry, violent. He broke his own locker door with his hands. Then he began crying. Krell sent him to the med bay, thinking he was sick. But scans showed his brain was fine. Too fine. Parts of his mind were more active than ever. Areas that no Ixal had used in thousands of years. Doctors were confused. "He's not sick," one said. "He's awake." News of the event reached the Ixal High Command. They demanded answers. And soon the scan reports were leaked to the rest of the galaxy. What was in human food that could change a Yuxol's brain? Curious scientists from other species visited Earth. They tried fries. They tried soda. And then, they didn't stop. In secret space markets, humans were now selling candy for gold. One lizard-like trader offered a spaceship in exchange for a single jar of peanut butter. The Earth governments were confused. What's happening? One president asked, "Why did they want our food?" An answer came from a broken message on a Yuixal channel. Human food activates something old. Deep inside us, we remember pleasure, and that is dangerous. But it was too late. More aliens started coming, not with weapons, but with money. They didn't want land. They didn't want power. They wanted snacks. In a small town in Texas, a group of feathered aliens waited in line at a taco truck. In Japan, a space cruiser hovered near a ramen shop for hours. In France, a famous bakery got robbed, not by humans, but by invisible creatures from another galaxy. Jarn became a strange kind of hero. He wrote a book titled The Bite That Changed Me. And yet, something in his eyes was different. He had tasted something so good, so powerful, and now he wanted more. But deep in the Ixal fleet, some leaders began to worry. "This is not just food," Commander Krell whispered to himself in the dark. "It's a weapon." And so plans began. Plans to stop Earth food from spreading. To burn the recipes. to shut down every kitchen. Because what began as a bite was turning into a war. Jarn's story spread like wildfire. Across the stars, people whispered about Earth's food. It was banned. It was dangerous. It was delicious. The Galactic Council sent a warning. No alien species may consume human junk food. It alters neural pathways. It causes addiction. They called it Protocol 17X. But no one listened. In secret, aliens met in dark markets, trading maps to Earth diners. They spoke in quiet voices. Try the one called cheeseburger. Don't forget fries, with extra ketchup. And always someone would say, "Bring me cola. I need cola." On planet Durox 9, Commander Null of the bird-like Villeri species stood before his soldiers. He was once proud, strict, and cold. Now, his feathers were greasy. He held a bag of Earth chips like treasure. "We will no longer eat the tasteless roots of our ancestors," he told them. He bit into a chip and sighed. "This is truth." One soldier asked, "Sir, is this allowed?" Commander Null turned slowly. Not allowed, but needed. Meanwhile, on a mining moon in Sector 4, a group of insectoid workers went on strike. They refused to mine until the boss provided Earth candy. "You need energy," the boss shouted. One worker raised a Snickers bar. "This gives us power." The council panicked. Human food is spreading. Morals are falling. Civilizations are crumbling over cupcakes. Back on Earth, things were getting weird. McDonald's in Chicago was surrounded by invisible cloaked ships every night. A taco stand in Mexico got 5-star reviews from alien food critics. Pizza places hired private guards to stop strange creatures from stealing entire ovens. And then, it happened. An alien chef named Glurnak tried to recreate a cheeseburger on his own planet. He used the same ingredients, same meat, same heat. But when he served it, the taste was wrong, empty. "What's missing?" he cried. The humans called it soul. Aliens had no word for it. It wasn't just the food. It was how it was made, with love, mess, fun, and chaos. That's when a new group appeared, the Morcar purists. They believed Earth food was a virus, one that changed minds and killed tradition. Led by General Yaws, they made a bold demand. Destroy the Earth kitchens, burn the fryers, and the sauce. They blamed Jarn for starting it all. They placed a bounty on his head. But Jarn had disappeared. In a secret place orbiting Mars, Jarn was building something. A small diner. A place for all species to taste and learn. He called it Flavor Base 1. He hired humans, chefs, truck cooks, even grandmas from New Jersey. "Cook like you feel," he told them. "Don't follow rules." But rules were coming. The Morcar launched a surprise attack on a human snack factory in orbit. They called it a food strike. Inside, human engineers were testing a machine that deep-fried in zero gravity. The Morcar destroyed everything. The message was clear. No more flavors, or there will be war. The Galactic Council begged Earth to stop exporting food. Earth replied, "We didn't start this. You did, when you took a bite." Now, fast food was black market gold. A single onion ring sold for the price of a ship engine. A secret group of alien rebels called the Hungry formed in deep space. They smuggled nachos, soda, and candy through wormholes. They wore cheese-stained cloaks and carried ketchup blasters. They believed Earth food wasn't just food. It was a feeling, a memory, a taste of something beautiful. But beauty was dangerous, because where beauty spreads, control fades. The Morcar didn't want flavor. They wanted order. So they sent a spy. A young alien named Sharn, trained in silence and lies, was sent to Flavor Base 1. His job, shut it down. He walked into the diner. He saw a human flipping pancakes. He smelled syrup. His hand shook. He sat down. ordered whatever smells best. The plate came. He took one bite, and everything changed. Sharn was trained to resist emotion. He was taught to ignore smell, taste, even joy. But one bite of the pancake changed him. He sat in the corner of Jarn's secret diner, flavor base one, quiet, confused, trembling. The butter melted, the syrup was warm, and the food wasn't just good. It felt like home. "What is this?" Sharn whispered. A human chef smiled. "That's called comfort food." He had no translation for it, but Sharn didn't need one. He felt it. He was supposed to signal the Morcar army the moment he stepped in. Instead, he asked for a second helping. But far away, General Yaz of the Morcar grew impatient. "Where is my spy?" He shouted. "Why hasn't Flavor Base 1 been shut down?" He slammed his fist on the control table. "Prepare the raid." That night, while stars blinked quietly in space, the Morcar fleet moved toward Mars. Back in the diner, Jarn was cleaning a milkshake machine when a red light blinked on the screen. Incoming ships. No ID. No greetings. Just silence. He knew what that meant. "We're being hunted," he told the chefs. "By who?" asked an old woman from Texas. He looked out the window. "By those who fear flavor." The human staff locked the doors. Aliens from other species inside the diner started to panic. "Will they attack?" one asked. "Yes," Charn said. "They'll come for the recipes." Because those recipes were not just cooking instructions. They were power. Each dish held secrets that Earth humans never realized. Emotions, memories, triggers for ancient parts of the alien mind. The Morcar wanted to erase that. Sharn stood up. "I came to destroy you," he admitted. "But I can't." Sharn looked at him, surprised. "Why not?" Sharn put his hand on his chest. "Because this food made me feel something I never felt before." Suddenly, whoa! The diner shook. A wall cracked. The floor trembled. The Morcar had arrived. Dark armored ships hovered just outside the base. Troops began teleporting in, cold, silent, and without mercy. "Find the recipe vault," one commander ordered. They didn't want to kill. They wanted the sauces, the formulas, the one thing they feared most, flavor with soul. Jarn turned to the chefs. "We don't fight with guns," he said. "We fight with taste." The chefs nodded. One flicked burgers faster. Another prepared hot wings with extra spice. Sharn stood by the door, holding a ladle like a sword. Then the first Morcar soldier entered. "Stand down," he said, "or we erase you." Instead of running, the human grandma held out a steaming bowl of mac and cheese. "Try this first," she said. The soldier looked at it confused. The smell hit him. Something deep in his armor shook. He took one bite and dropped his weapon. More soldiers came. One by one, they tasted. And one by one, they stopped fighting. But not all of them. Some still moved forward, blasting walls, trying to reach the vault. Jarn turned to Sharn. "You know their systems. Can you stop them?" Sharn nodded. "I'll try." He ran to the control room, locked doors, shut air vents, turned the lights red. Still, 3 elite Morcar soldiers reached the vault. They opened the steel door. Inside, a glowing cube holding Earth's most guarded recipes. Secret spice mixes, fry times, sauce ratios. They grabbed the cube. Alarms screamed. Jarn raced to stop them. So did Sharn. But it was too late. The soldiers beamed out with the cube gone. And now, the Morcar had the recipes. Silence fell over the diner. Jarn stared at the empty vault. "It's over," he whispered. But Sharn shook his head. "No, it's just starting." Because now the Morcar would try to copy Earth food. But they didn't understand. It wasn't just ingredients. It was feeling. And feeling couldn't be stolen. Somewhere deep in space, General Yo's opened the recipe cube. He smiled. Now we control flavor. Now we end Earth's power. But he didn't know. They had stolen the wrong version. The real recipes were still safe. Jarn had hidden them. And the war for food had only just begun. The galaxy didn't sleep that night. News spread like thunder. The Morcar stole the Earth recipe cube. Worlds held their breath. Some cheered. Some cried. But most waited. On the Morcar warship, General Yo stood before the glowing cube. He tapped it. It opened. Holograms of burgers, fries, and sauces danced in the air. His top scientists clapped. At last, said one, we will cook Earth food with perfect control. No chaos, no feelings, just efficiency. But they didn't know. The cube was fake. It held decoy recipes, designed by Jarn and a human prank chef named Rudy. Instead of real formulas, the cube held twisted ones. A cake that exploded in slime. A drink that made you hiccup for 3 days. And a spice mix that turned your tongue purple and made you sing. The Morcar cooked proudly. They served the food to their highest officers. At first bite, chaos. An admiral turned green and danced on the table. Another rolled on the floor, singing Earth disco songs. General Yo screamed, "What is this?" A voice played from the cube. "You can't steal flavor, baby." Rudy's laugh echoed in the room. Back on Flavor Base 1, the real recipes were still safe, deep in the hidden vault beneath the diner. But Jarn knew the war wasn't over. The Morcar will come again, he told the crew. Harder. Angrier. Hungrier. Sharn nodded. Then we need to fight back. With more than recipes. They formed a team. Humans, aliens, chefs, smugglers, anyone who loved taste. They called themselves the Flavor Rebellion. Their mission: spread Earth food to every planet before the Morcar could stop it. It started small. A chocolate chip cookie smuggled onto a frozen moon. A taco stand set up on a gas giant. A pizza dropped from orbit into a busy alien city. But the taste, it changed people. On one planet, police officers tried to arrest a human chef. They took one bite of a hot dog and quit their jobs to become cooks. On another world, a prince ate nachos for the first time and canceled his own wedding. He said, "No one who has never tasted cheese can love me truly." General Yaws watched it all with rage. He ordered attacks on Earth food stations. He bombed spice farms. He sent spies to poison ketchup supplies. But it didn't work, because flavor had gone wild. And wild things don't follow orders. Jarn's Diner, now the base of the rebellion, trained new chefs. Alien students learned the art of grilling, seasoning, deep frying with heart. But something was missing. "Where's Jarn?" a young trainee asked one day. Sharn looked down. "He left," he said, "to do something big." Because Jarn had gone on a secret mission. He took a small ship, carrying only one thing: a single box of real Earth recipes. His goal? To reach the Great Table, a legendary council where the oldest species meet once every 1,000 years to judge culture. If he could make them taste human food, everything might change. But the journey was dangerous. Morcar ships hunted him. He flew through black storms. He nearly crashed into a sun. Still, he flew on. Back at the base, Sharn led the rebellion. He invented a secret dish, the Unity Stew. One bite made enemies stop fighting. One bowl made old rivals hug. Even a Morcar pilot defected after trying it. "Why do I want to cry?" he said, slurping more. The rebellion grew fast. Food trucks in space. Secret diners on moons. Recipe codes sent by message drones. The Morcar were losing ground. And then, a signal. From deep space. It was Jarn. He had reached the Great Table. 12 ancient leaders sat before him. They had never smiled, never laughed, Jarn cooked one dish, mashed potatoes with gravy. Simple, warm, soft. Each leader took a bite. For a moment's silence. Then one of them smiled. Another giggled. The oldest one, a being made of light, whispered, "This is peace." They looked at Jarn. "Earth must not be destroyed," they declared. "Earth must be protected. For flavor is life." The council made a new rule. All species have the right to taste. Back at Flavor Base 1, cheers shook the walls. Fireworks made of soda exploded in space. The rebellion had won something bigger than war. They had won freedom of flavor. But General Yaws wasn't done. He had one plan left. Something worse than bombs. Something ancient. And it was already moving toward Earth. The skies above Earth turned red. The stars blinked. The wind changed. Because General Yaws had unleashed his final weapon. Not a bomb, not a laser, but something older and much worse. A creature from forgotten times, the Flavored Eater. It floated through space like a shadow. It had no face, no voice, only hunger. It moved toward Earth, pulling flavor out of the air. Whole kitchens turned cold. Crops died. Water tasted like metal. Even chocolate became empty. The Morcar believed this was the only way to win. No more taste. No more Earth, Yaws said. On Mars, Flavor Base 1 watched in horror. Jarn had returned from the great table. He looked older, tired, but his spirit still burned. If the Flavor Eater reaches Earth, he said, it will erase all feeling. Even the Morcar troops were afraid now. They had tasted Earth food once, and now they felt what they were about to lose. Sharn stood beside Jarn. "Can it be stopped?" he asked. Jarn nodded slowly. "But not with weapons, only with the one thing it hates, true flavor." The rebellion acted fast. They called every chef across the galaxy. Human, alien, robot, didn't matter. Everyone came. They built a ship. Small, fast, beautiful. Its weapon? A kitchen. They called it the Last Bite. Inside, the best chefs worked together. Their goal? Cook one dish so powerful, so emotional, it could remind even the Flavored Eater what taste meant. They picked the simplest food of all, grilled cheese and tomato soup. It reminded humans of rainy days and warm homes. It reminded aliens of comfort and kindness. They added herbs from 12 planets, a cheese only found in Earth's mountains, and bread baked under real sunlight. The ship took off. Jarn flew it himself. The Flavor Eater was close now, just outside Earth's orbit. It opened its shadow mouth. Earth's oceans turned gray. Flowers stopped blooming. Even the sky looked afraid. Then the last bite reached it. Jarn didn't fire a missile. He opened the hatch and launched the grilled cheese straight into the heart of the monster. It floated there, glowing golden, warm, and perfect. The Flavor Eater paused. It sniffed. It quivered. It remembered. Once, long ago, it had tasted something like this, before it became a monster, before it forgot joy. Now, it remembered love. It took a bite, and everything changed. Colors returned. Flavors rushed back into space. Earth breathed again. The monster shrank, smaller, softer. And then, it smiled. It wasn't the Flavored Eater anymore. It was just full. Then it vanished, leaving behind one small word in the stars. Thanks. Back on Earth, kitchens lit up. Spoons clinked. Ovens glowed. Children laughed. Jarn landed the ship. The crowd ran to him. Sharn hugged him tight. "You did it," he said. Jarn looked at the sky. "No, we did it." And across the stars, from moons to space stations, the same message played. You can't kill flavor. You can only share it. The more car, they stopped fighting. Some open diners, even General Yaws disappeared, later seen working a small waffle stand on Pluto. Flavor Base 1 became a school, not just for cooking, but for kindness. Because the real secret of Earth food wasn't salt or sugar. It was soul. And soul couldn't be copied, couldn't be stolen, couldn't be erased. Only tasted, only shared. And every being who took one bite of Earth's food knew the truth. They mocked our junk food, but in the end, it saved the galaxy.